Hello, dear friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And let's continue studying, analyzing, checking the games of Mikhail Tal. Let's go. Unbeaten streak of Mikhail Tal. So we checked 10 games, and now we'll continue checking another 10. But I should upset you that in these 10 games, uh, according to my databases, Tal lost some of them, and especially two games against Yuri Balashov. Uh, so I was using ChessBase main database, and from there I uh, collected all the games played by Tal in 1973, 1974. Maybe it was Blitz game. Mm. Okay, anyway, this we can consider just games of Mikhail Tal, and maybe later on we will really face unbeaten streak by Mikhail Tal. Let's go. So 11th game, Bronstein with the white pieces. Yes, hard to explain why really David Bronstein started the game against Mikhail Tal with the d6 move. Yes, nowadays knight f3, bishop e3, f4 moves are more popular. Bishop g5, c6. Black is not afraid. Bishop f6, e takes f, knight f3, bishop g7, queen d4, bishop g4, long castle, h6, bishop e3, b5, bishop d3, a6, rook e1. Yes, h3 would have been better, or king b1, rook e1. Weird decision by Tal. Knight fd7, and e5. And here Bronstein went d5, and after d5 he didn't have any serious chances to fight for equality or for something more in this game. Yes, here bishop takes f3 was working, and let's say if g takes f, you just take d takes c. I know it feels very complicated, and for example, if he takes d, then some bishop d5 move works. So after d5, Tal really played well, knight h4, and here just knight takes g6 after g bishop takes, and knight takes d5, and f3. Yes, maybe here c takes d after g, knight takes e5 would have been better. This queen d3 threatening queen f5, attacking the knight on c6. Yes, knight d4 c3, and knight is surprisingly trapped. This threatening queen f4, threatening rook d5, and queen e4, bishop g7. Yes, only 24 moves. Now win against Bronstein. And another game against Balashov. I think maybe this game was a blitz game. So yes, I should also admit that I didn't know that Tal is playing. He was playing Nadorf regularly, but I already, while checking his games, I noticed that very often he. Yes, nowadays e5 is more popular than e6. Bishop e2. Of course, here b5 there is bishop f3. This I think I can. Hmm. So f4, b5, bishop f3, bishop b7. Yes, here e5 detects e, f takes e, queen takes e5, e3 is hanging. If bishop b7, e takes d4, bishop a8, d takes c. Of course, after e5, d takes c, bishop b7, black also can take on b7. So a3, knight b d7, queen e2, rook c8, short castle. Yes, bishop e7, very decent move. e5, f takes c, maybe knight f5 would have been better. And here I guess d takes c. Um, Black should take, because this is already unpleasant. But here g6, but not because of king h1, because of bishop g5 or rook ad1. Here g6 was possible, with the ideas to go bishop g7. Yes, this is already quite unpleasant. And here, for example, e5 is working, or bishop g5. So bishop d4, yes, knight b2 ideas aren't working because of knight d5. Queen f2, queen g3, threatening bishop h6, takes, bishop g5, completely winning for white, and not the best move. Bishop e2 would have been much stronger. And now black is again more or less in the game. And queen a7, and rook takes d6, rook d1, threatening rook d7, attacking the rook. Yes. Nothing impressive um, by Tal, and of course good game by Balashov. You know, dear viewers, if you have any information regarding this game, maybe it was um, just a blitz game, because impressive from Tal. Another game was against Bronstein. As knight f6 is possible move, d5 doesn't work, d6, c4, and here knight a3 is the main move. Knight d4, bishop d7, bishop e2, bishop e7, bishop e3, short castle, knight takes d4, queen d4, bishop c6, and some b4 move, f3, and d5, takes e5, knight d7, threatening some bishop c5 stuff. And here knight e5 also was working, queen takes e5, but not queen d5 because of queen e7, queen a3. After queen e5, bishop d6 move is working. So this takes rook c8 before rook e8. Yes, f4, b6. This knight takes e5, and here rook ad1 was there, but Bronstein didn't see it or didn't like it. Maybe black got slightly better position, but anyway, decided to make a draw, rook c2, rook f2, rook c1. So another game, again, Balashov, now Tal is having white pieces, and again he loses. Yes, I like all these moves, and here knight c6, b takes c, f5 was possible, takes d takes c. I like this game by Balashov. Very well played game, and here h3 and bishop e6. Very classy move. Bishop takes f takes, and knight on c3 has a lot of problems. Bishop b3 c5, threatening some c4, and now c4 bishop c4 knight h5 was there, but not the easiest tactical idea. Rook b8 takes b3 and c4. Very classy move by Balashov. Yes, short castle is the only move. Takes and here Balashov didn't see a rook c8, queen e6, king h8. He went this, takes rook b4, and black is between better and much better. Maybe some small chances for Tal, but king g6, yes. Because if you take rook c2, knight c3 comes, and this is completely winning. And more or less, I like the way Balashov has converted. Yes, this is completely winning, no doubts. And here Tal resigned. So another game against Jan Smejkal. And we have this position, and here d5 is an option, d6, and bishop f5 is an option, queen a5, h3, here queen h5, there is knight g5, e5, e4, takes, queen c5, and something like knight e2, takes on d6. And here Smejkal started playing not enough well to pose problems for Tal. There's rook d1, and here this rook b1 move. Yes, queen takes a4, black is fine. And Tal also doesn't play enough well. No, this part he plays well, and here takes knight d7, a3 was played. Takes knight d7. Yes, takes rook e8. Yes, he played decent chess before, and not much was really happening. And here I assume Tal offered a draw, which was accepted by Jan Smejkal. And another game against Vladimir Tukmakov with the black pieces. And again we see Najdorf. And here e5 is the main move, queen c7, bishop d3, g6, knight f3, knight bd7, short castle. And here bishop g7 looks very logical. But Tal goes e5. Something at least weird. Queen e1, b5, king h1, bishop b7, f takes, d takes c, queen h4. I'm not sure why exactly queen h4, bishop e7, queen g3, and here b4 was possible at h5, and short castle black is already fine. This attacking knight f6, a4, b4, knight d5 was there, knight d2, and already black is having slightly better position. Yes, players are making some decent moves. Yes, g4. I don't like this move because you aren't achieving much, and you are weakening your king side a lot. Takes, knight f6, knight g3, knight g5, queen g2, knight e6. I like this by Tal. Queen f2 Rook f8 definitely wants to go knight d7. This, king h7, attacking the pawn on e4, takes knight d4, and here knight takes d4, he takes d. Yes, knight d2 would have been better. Knight c2, there is bishop c5. So takes, bishop d4, there is knight d4, and here queen d7, attacking the pawn, and here a5, and rook e1, huge inaccuracy, d3. Takes, knight takes b3, knight is coming to d4, and here Tukmakov resigned. Once again, in 2 games, uh, Tal was completely outplayed by Balashov, and especially this game, 14th game. I very much like uh, Balashov's understanding. Yes, it was nothing impressive with Jan Smejkal. Very decent draw. Nothing against Bronstein. It was a draw, and he outplayed at some point Tokmakov. And here we see game against Anatoly Karpov. So we see this line, see Breyer, and instead of here going knight f1, b4, bishop b2, d5, bishop d3. Yes, maybe it takes d5 ideas are working. a3, knight d6, threatening knight a4, rook c1, knight a4, bishop a1. Takes, yes, c takes d is also possible. Takes, knight is coming to e5, attacking the pawn on a5. And I'm not sure was 97 and sacrificing the exchange Karpov's intention, but at least he goes this and he sacrifices the exchange and knight c4. But of course, black is in some trouble, even the way Tal played. Yes, maybe bishop c1 would have been better. Takes, this. Knight d7, knight f5, rook e6. Yes, maybe rook d3, but Karpov didn't play well this part of the game. Bishop c8, for example, he attacks the knight, and he goes knight d7, g6 would have been better. Now rook d3, for example, and now Tal goes bishop b5, and takes knight f6. Of course, white doesn't have any problems, but according to engines, black also doesn't have any problems. Bishop c7, maybe rook e6 or rook f8 would have been better. This queen b1 takes this. But even in this way, Karpov didn't get much problems. Yes, despite it shows something, a5 or rook d1, knight e8, a5, king f8, and now we see that it drops. And rook a7 was played g5, rook a8, bishop e5. Yes, maybe something like f4, but yes, very nice game by both players, and at least you can see very high level of understanding and some calculations. Even in 2024, so despite having all the information and access to engines, I would really wish to play in such a high level. Another game was against 2400 player. I'm not familiar with him. Yes, it was a game. It's hard to say why Tal started the game with d6. And here bishop g4, this move is trendy even nowadays, but not with the idea to go knight f6 d7. Takes knight c6, threatening some e5, and then knight d4 and knight a5, and here bishop takes c3 and d5, trying to close and restrict the bishops. Takes. 4, queen e7, queen a4, b6. Engine doesn't like this queen a4 move. It's knight b7, classy move, knight c5. And here not rook f7 because of e5, that's why rook e8, and rook f7, and rook f8. And here engine likes more pushing h4 and then maybe placing bishop on h3. But white played bishop h3, king h8, e5, and now g5. Yes, some moves. Eventually knight f6, attacking the pawn on e4, takes. And up to this, yes, here queen d8, knight d6 was very beautiful attempt to enter endgame, slightly preferable. So not much was really happening here. White is fine. White is having his own counterplay. All this, yes. Tal decided to bring the king to f6 and then trade the queens. But of course, white doesn't. And eventually c6. All this, yes. Here maybe some h4. Bishop g6. Takes. Queen c6. And in this position, yes, bishop c2, queen d2, or bishop f3. And white does not have any problem. Bishop c2, the problem is b4 move. Yes, a takes, c takes, queen c2, c2 is hanging. White really tried very hard and even played another maybe 20 moves, but yes, b takes a would have been better. Yes, but bishop on b1 completely out of the game, and white queen cannot really create much problems for black's king. Yes, in a very nice way, Tal slowly converted. Yes, king c2, queen c1, and now black is collecting all the pawns. Yes, no need to explain much. And here we see Tal is having white pieces against Robert Byrne. And again Najdorf, but this time Tal is having white pieces. Already we had seen this line in our first part, and also knight b3 move. Yes, for example, if some random move like h5, you just take bishop f6, g takes f, and a3 and rook a2. Of course, you have also ideas like knight a4, knight b6, queen a3, takes bishop e2, maybe later on bishop h5 ideas. This I remember in my childhood, my coaches would recommend me to not allow white bishop to on h5, because if white goes bishop h5, you cannot really castle alongside, and then f5 is coming, and then f takes e ideas are there. A short castle, this king h1, and I already noticed and realized that Tal liked having this position, and especially this idea of queen e3 and then knight b1 c4. Yes, this knight b1, queen a4 c4, knight a5. Here if knight c3, then knight takes c4 is coming, takes, and here some strange decisions by Bjorn. Yes, first going rook h6 and then going rook h7. Of course, he was afraid of f5, I guess, and he wanted to take e takes f, and bishop g7, and bishop takes d4, bishop takes a4, rook f5. Yes. Yes, here black doesn't have any problems, but Bjorn decided to create them for himself. Takes, yes, here takes knight f5. So just rook c4 takes rook a5, bishop d7. Black doesn't have problems. Or let's say here c takes d and then d3. And the important move is to go f5 because he takes f rook d7. Black is winning. Rook d3 or rook c7, and then you will take f takes c. So bishop d7, rook c5, rook h6. I'm sure that with a huge respect to Tal, my good friend Roberto Vanessian would win this position 10 out of 10. Yes, maybe jokes aside, but White is at least having some chances. This knight f3, Tal managed to find this and rook a5, knight d4. Yes, it is obvious that black is having very unpleasant position, king g3 or knight f5. And this, bishop c4, takes this. And here, players even did not try. And also another game by Tal. He lost with the black pieces against Rukavina. If I'm not mistaken, back in 2011, I played against him. Of course, at that time he was very old. I managed to win. Yes, but he was trying to create a fortress, and then eventually, maybe uh, in fourth hour of the game, I managed to break through. Yeah, b3, a5, bishop b2, bishop g7, bishop g2, d6, d4, c6, short castle, short castle. Of course, a5 is a very nice, useful move. a4, maybe d7. Yes, White is playing very solid chess. Takes bishop f1, preparing c4, and c4, and takes queen c2. And now Tal is in some trouble. c5, b5, bishop b5, bishop e5. It's not the strongest, but anyway, White is much better. It's not the strongest, but again, White is better. Yes, knight is heading towards d3. White is much better. Bishop is coming to e3. Very nice game by Rukavina. f3. King e2. Knight d3. And this is already lost. And here, according to notes, Tal resigned or maybe lost on time. But at least we should admit this was very impressive game by Rukavina. When in 2011 I played him, I didn't even know that he faced Tal, and he won. Game uh, quite well played, very positional chess, slowly outplaying world ex chess champion. Yes, in today's 10 games, at least we saw 3 games where Tal lost and few draws. Yes, I think maybe this was a blitz games or some other format because with a huge respect to Tal, with such a quality, it would have been almost impossible to uh, be unbeaten and have a streak of 95 consecutive games. Thank you very much, dear friends, dear viewers. Please leave your comments, and if you have any further questions, I will continue recording more videos about uh, other games. Yes, I think, and I very much hope that some other games Tal played much better, like usually he was doing. Thank you very much.